All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. If you are coming on, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Ramonepreston Show on this beautiful, amazing Tuesday. Please do me a favor if you're coming on while we are live. I want you to hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, and let them know your boy, Prophet Ramon, the squad, because I hear him on the other side of the room. And the Ramonepreston Show. We are all live right here on this beautiful, amazing Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do I have some amazing things to share with you? Yes, I do. And I'm ready to give you the game today. So please hit the like button, hit the share button, tag Lolly Dolly everybody, let them know we are live, and please put in the comments what city you are watching us from. I love to go back and look through the comments on social media and see that we have people from all walks of life, from all areas on the planet viewing the Ramonepreston Show. I mean, we have people from all over the world. I know sometimes, especially if you know me, it sounds like a little exaggerated when I say we've got people from all over the world that watch the show, but we do. We've got people from all walks of life, from all over the world that watch the show. And we've got many people from other parts of the world who are on Ramonepreston University, our training program platform. And we've got people who are clients and who are students in our business and financial consulting program and our coaching program who are from other parts of the world. So please put in the comments what city you're watching me from. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube page. We're working towards getting to 10,000 subscribers, okay? We have a little over 7,300, I think, subscribers on YouTube. So we want to get to 10,000. Of course, I want to get to 10 million, but 10,000, and then we're going to work our way to 100,000. It's a grind because it takes a lot for people to trust you enough. In my estimation, it takes a lot for people to trust you enough to subscribe to your page, to follow you, to, be aggravated with notifications and all the stuff that come with it. But for those of you that are subscribers to our YouTube page, if you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, you don't stop, Twitter, wherever you are, if you follow me on any of those platforms, if you're subscribed to anything that we offer, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you so much. I just got off the phone with a great guy who he's from another state. He just signed up for one of our upcoming events. And once we talked for a few minutes and I shared a little bit of information with him based on what he said he was doing, he proceeded to ask, so what's the other reason why you calling me? And I was like, well, first of all, I'm calling because I want to do business with you. I want to at least introduce you to myself and to our programs, to our products and services, and see where we can do business together. I said, but I also just want to say thank you. Thank you for trusting us with your email, with your phone number, your name, to give us an opportunity to reach out to you and call you. I take that serious and I really appreciate it. So welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If this is your first time on the show, my name is Ramonepreston. I'm the host of the Ramonepreston Show. And for about a year and a half now, we've been hosting this show every Monday through Friday for over a year and a half, to be exact. But let's just say for the past year and a half, we've been hosting this show. And the show is designed to really give you information that we know we use here at our company to help people start, structure, and scale their businesses, their ministries, income streams, and wealth building dreams. So what we do is we take a lot of the key things that we teach here at Ramonepreston Enterprises. We take a lot of the principles that we teach, a lot of the services of business and financial consulting that we provide, the things that we teach and provide for our coaching clients and mentees. We take elements of that, we take pieces of that, and we share it on the show to give you an idea of what it's going to take for you to really properly start a business, structure it, and scale it. Maybe you have a ministry, maybe you got both, or maybe you don't have a business or a ministry, you just work a job, you got a career, and you want to figure out ways to increase your income and to really create financial freedom for yourself. Well, we use this show to do that every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time. I carve this window out of a busy day. I mean, I'm busy. I work. I have a job. I have responsibilities. I've got a for-profit and a nonprofit organization that I run every day. I've got a lot of people who depend on me, and I'm not complaining. Maybe I'm just bragging, like my mentor says. But in any case, I'm sharing this with you so that you can know how important you are to me, because I want you to be inspired. I want you to be motivated. I want you to be encouraged, but I want you to be able to see that it's possible for you to have it all. It's possible for you to be successful. And so today I'm going to be talking to you about the fast track to financial freedom. The fast track to financial freedom. Now, just in case you missed yesterday's show, which, by the way, everybody that I know pretty much took yesterday off, except me. I didn't take yesterday off. My wife didn't either. I was here yesterday at my office, even though I wasn't dressed in my business suit. I was just hanging, chilling. I had my hat on. I had my next level gear on, but I was here working, and I did a live show yesterday on the 4th of July. We actually got some really good feedback yesterday. We had a lot of good feedback, and I appreciate if you did get a chance to watch the show. But anyway, what I decided to do is I decided to take the next few weeks from now all the way up to Saturday, July 23rd, and I wanted to conduct a campaign. Okay, I wanted to conduct a campaign, and this campaign is really designed to show you how you can increase your income. And not just to show you how you can, but to show you how to increase your income by at least 30% within the next 3 weeks. So just to help you understand how important this conversation is today, on Saturday, July the 23rd, from 12 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. right here in Buckhead at the Marriott Buckhead Conference Center, I'm hosting a free live event. Just in case you hadn't heard, I'm going to be hosting a free live event. If you would like to join me for that event, I'm actually hosting 2 events that weekend. I'm hosting a free revival and prophetic encounter Friday, July the 22nd. And then Saturday, July 23rd from 12 to 4, I'm hosting a free millionaire mastermind. You can actually join me for both, especially if you're in ministry and business. And let me just say this, because I got a lot I want to talk about today. If you are in ministry and business, you need to learn how to work both of them together. You need to learn this. If you're called to do ministry, if you're a preacher, you're a fivefold minister, you're a prophet, you're an apostle, you're a bishop, you're an evangelist, you're a pastor, a teacher, you're a lay member, you're a minister in your church, you're a traveling preacher, whoever you are, whatever you are. If you're called to ministry, but you also feel like God has called you to marketplace business, you have to learn how to put those two together and make them work in a way that you preserve the integrity of what you're called to do on both sides. And you have to make sure that you don't compromise yourself on any of those, because sometimes people compromise their livelihood. People compromise taking care of their family in the name of or for the sake of doing ministry, right? But then you got people who compromise ministry in the name of or for the sake of business. So I have taken the last 22 years of my life as a minister, full-time minister of the gospel, and as an entrepreneur, a go-getter, a grinder. I've taken the last 22 years of my life and I have worked these two worlds together. And I have figured out some of the most creative ways to bring these two together so that you can succeed in both areas of your life. And I've done it. It hasn't been easy. It's probably been one of the most difficult things that I've done, to the extent that the fact I have a platform called Ramonepreston University, it came from this struggle that I had. So when I first started in ministry, I didn't have a business. This was in 2000. In the year 2000, when I was ordained as a minister, and I started preaching like literally at least once or twice a week. When I started preaching, I was going. I never stopped. At the time, I was working a job, okay? And my 9-to-5 job, or whatever the schedule was, it was really getting in the way of what I wanted to do in ministry. You know, I was preaching and teaching at my church. I was leading Bible study. I would preach sometimes on Fridays or Sundays. We had 2 or 3 services a week. I was trying to lead a men's ministry. I was like one of the lead intercessors. I used to clean the church. I used to help with community outreach. I used to go to like parties, block parties and events, and pass out flyers and pamphlets and just pray for people and minister to people. I was teaching in the local jailhouse. Like, I was doing all kind of stuff because I was just so excited about my salvation and my freedom and my sobriety. I wanted everybody to have that experience. But then there was something itching in terms of being an entrepreneur, and I wanted to scratch that itch, right? And so shortly after, around 2002, I started my first business. Okay, well, it didn't last that long because I ended up meeting my wife in 2002. We ended up getting married a year later. I moved to Atlanta in 2003, and for the last 19 years, I've been here. But just those first few years of being a minister and an entrepreneur, it taught me a lot about how difficult it really is, because you're struggling with trying to reconcile a lot of things. I don't know who you are that's watching this today, but if I'm saying something that's resonating with you because you feel like you want to be successful, you want to get that money, you want to build a business, you want to be great, but then you got this faith thing, this Christian thing that's really making you feel like, should I go that hard? I'm telling you that there is a way you can bring that together. You can make it make sense, okay? So with that being said, on Friday, July 22nd, I'm hosting a ministry event, a revival. I would love for you to join me. On Saturday, July the 23rd, I'm hosting a Millionaire Mastermind. Now, the reason why I'm bringing up the 23rd for this Millionaire Mastermind, which are free events, you could go to ramonepreston.com/event. If you want to write that down, just write it down. You can go to ramonepreston.com/event. ramonepreston.com, excuse me, /event. I'm going to give it to you one more time. ramonepreston.com/event. Okay? Now, here's what I want to talk to you about today. For the next 3 weeks, a little short of 3 weeks, leading up to July the 23rd, I am conducting a campaign that we're calling our Fast Track to Financial Freedom. And this campaign, between now and Saturday, the 23rd of July, when we commence together for our Millionaire Mastermind, I want to use this window to show you how you can increase your income by at least 30% within the next 30 days. I know you can do it. I've seen it done enough times, okay? Excuse me. Now, in order for me to show you how to do it, there are certain lessons that you have to learn. There are certain things that you're going to have to do within this window that we have. And so what I put together for this 3-week Fast Track to Financial Freedom campaign is I put together a few checkpoints that's going to help keep you motivated, to help keep you moving in the right direction, and to give you the inspiration and the information you need to be able to get a win in this short period of time, okay? So what I'm offering, I'll share this at the end of today's show, and I'm gonna be talking about it every day for the next couple weeks leading up to the 23rd. But what I'm offering you is, number one, a free 15-minute assessment. So if you want to be a part of this campaign for the next few weeks and just give yourself a shot to see, can you increase your income by 30% in 3 weeks? Are there things that you can do in the next 3 weeks that can work? Well, give yourself a shot. See if it can. I'm going to offer you a free 15-minute assessment. Okay, we're going to give you a free 15-minute assessment, and that assessment is what we're going to use to onboard you to this 3-week fast track, because we want to make sure that whatever it is that you know you need to do, that you have the details on it. We want to make sure that we can check the boxes. What I'm also going to be offering in these 3 weeks are 3 check-ins. So this Saturday, July the 9th, next Saturday, July the 16th, and then Saturday, July 23rd, we're going to have 3 check-ins every Saturday up until our mastermind. So I'm going to take about an hour or so this Saturday, an hour or so next Saturday, and then we're going to have 4 hours on the 23rd to make sure that every step that we're giving you to take, that you're actually taking them. So you can't join this campaign and say, oh, Ramon, I'm doing it, and not do it. You can't join it and then get to the 23rd and say, well, nothing worked for me, but then we go to your platform, we go to your dashboard, and you didn't do what we told you needed to do. So you're going to have to be willing and wanting to follow through with this and do it. And you only have a short window, so you can actually get a good quick win if you join this campaign with me. I'm actually encouraging everybody that's in our business community to be a part of it. I just told my team they need to be a part of it. They need to figure out new creative ways to increase their income by 30% within the next 3 weeks. So if you are a mentee, if you're on our coaching program, I want you to start the fast track as well. We have a certain course that we're starting on this week, and actually the course is called the Income Ladder of Success. So if you're in my mentorship program, if you're in my coaching program, if you have access to my Millionaire Blueprint, my program online, there's a course called the Income Ladder of Success. That's the course that we are directing everyone to in order to start this fast track to financial freedom between now and July 23rd. That's the course. So you want to take that down. The course is called the Income Ladder of Success. Now, this Saturday, when we host our first check-in, we're going to be talking about this income ladder of success. I'm going to make sure that you understand what the income ladder of success is, how it works. I want to make sure that you have a financial freedom target. There's a certain dollar amount you need to have as a target, not just for the next 3 weeks, but it may be for the next 3 years. But you at least need to have some type of target to know what you need to do today. So if you don't have a financial freedom target, then what you're doing today really don't mean nothing. You ain't got no energy behind it. You ain't got the momentum and the motivation and the inspiration to do nothing. So when challenges come, when trials and tribulations come, they're going to knock you down. So this campaign is really a way for me to show you how to increase your income by 30% in 3 weeks, but also how to simultaneously draw energy from the inspiration of your community, how to get motivated because of the people you are surrounded by, and how to incrementally get information, get education and training, and put it to practice rather than binge watching videos and never getting anything done. So if you're interested in being a part of this campaign between now and the 23rd, and you're not a member of our coaching program, you're not a student on our Millionaire Blueprint, but you want to get in with me on this, you want me to work with you for the next 3 weeks, and you want to be a part of our weekly check-ins, and you want to be on this course so that you can be tracking with me and the rest of our community, all you need to do is text text the word millionaire. Text the word millionaire. So I want you to take that number down very quickly so that if you're interested, you can text millionaire to 404-478-7213. So if you're interested in joining this fast track to financial freedom, and again, if you're not serious about your financial freedom, if you don't take it as serious as I do, then it's not going to be for you. And if you're still doubting that you can even increase your income by any percentage in any window of time, then you probably need it even more. So I'm not going to tell you not to join. I'm going to just say you're going to need it even more. But I want you to start by texting the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. And what we're going to do is we're going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to walk you through an assessment. We want to make sure that whatever the fast track you need to be on, that it makes sense for you, for your business. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know if you own a business, if you're just starting a business. I don't know if you don't have a business, but you got a job. You may be in transition. Maybe you're on a fixed income. So depending on where you are is going to have a lot to do to determine what you need to do. Everybody's situation is unique. This is one of the reasons why, as a business consultant and coach, I like to touch people and deal with people on a case-by-case basis, because everything can't be generalized. There's certain things specific to you that might not work for other people. So again, text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213, okay? That's the number that I want you to text. I'll come back around at the back end of today's show and give you that information again. But for the next few weeks, we are on a campaign, and this campaign is called the Fast Track to Financial Freedom. I want to give you tools. I want to give you some mentorship. I want to have some check-ins on a week-to-week basis for the next 3 weeks to show you that if you take information somebody gives you that they know works, and if you put that information to practice, within a short period of time, you can experience wins that will give you the momentum and the motivation and the inspiration you need. And if you can't do it for 3 weeks, you probably can't do it for 3 months. So if you've had a problem like being consistent, if you had an issue like being focused, if you haven't been able to really get a long win streak together yet, it's because you haven't been able to master incremental wins. So sometimes it's not about 3 years. It's not about a year. It's not about 9 months. Sometimes it's just about, can you do enough in 3 weeks on a week-to-week basis with a coach and a mentor directing you, checking in on you, keeping tabs, tracking you? Can you do enough so that you can get 3 weeks out and look back and say, wow, look at what I have accomplished? Because when we get to July 23rd, during our Millionaire Mastermind, one of the exercises we're going to have is we're going to do the math on what have you accomplished in the last 3 weeks. And we want to know what you've accomplished in terms of numbers. We don't want you to just write down a whole lot of stuff. Well, I did this, I did that, I went here, I went there, I met this person, I went that person. No, we want to know data points. We want math. What is the percentage you've done? What is the dollar amount you've done? What is the numerical value of what you've done? We want to not just qualify what you've done, but we want to quantify. We want to quantify what you've done, okay? So now, here is this graph that I use. And when you get access to my course on the income ladder of success, you're going to see this graph. This graph speaks so many volumes, and I'll probably be using it off and on for the next few weeks. But you might need to like do a, what do you call it, like a screenshot of this. This is our income ladder of success graph. But I want you to take a look at this graph. This graph is powerful, y'all. I'm telling you. This graph it speaks so many volumes to so many things that a lot of people in the United States of America are either blind to or want to be blind to. So either there's a system that blinded you to it because you've gotten the wrong information, you're caught up in this web, or you see it, but you blinded yourself because you wanted to turn a blind eye to it. You just don't want to accept it. And so this is the reality. This is the reality of the United States of America, okay? This is your reality. Now, based on today, 2022, where we are, right? There are somewhere around 130 million households in the United States of America, okay? I'm giving you some statistics, some data points. So there's about 130 million households in the United States of America. So we know there are roughly 330 million human beings in the United States of America, but there are about 100 and something million households. Each household may have 2 or 3 people, right? So we can easily see how, okay, we probably have about 130 million households in the United States of America, okay? Based on 130 something million households in the United States of America, look at this. 29% of these households are considered to be poor class. 70% of these households are considered to be lower middle class, and upper class. And then only 1% of the households in America are considered upper class, millionaires, rich, or wealthy. Now, everybody might have their own description of income classes in the United States of America. If you Googled income classes, I can almost guarantee you're going to have thousands, if not millions, of different views and perspectives, and to each its own. For me to communicate to my community correctly, I have 8 different income classes, okay? This is a representation of 8 different income classes, all right? So out of 130 plus million households in America, we have about 8 different income classes, all right? About 8 different income classes. Out of these 8 income classes, we have a certain percentage that makes up certain ones. So the first income class is $32,000 or less. So anybody that makes $32,000 or less are categorically poor class. And I'm not saying that to offend anyone, because I lived there probably the first 26 years of my life. I did. So I already know it's not like a slap in nobody's face. It's not to demean people. But here's the reason why a lot of people turn a blind eye to this, because they don't want to have this conversation. But this graph right here that I'm showing you, whether you believe this or not, this graph that I'm showing you represents the biggest elephant in the room of the United States of America. And I'm not going to overtalk myself today. I just really want some of you to give me some feedback today, okay? Give me some feedback. So I have a question for everyone. Did you even know these income classes before you saw this graph? Did you even know this? Okay? So there are 130 million, give or take, households in America. Out of the 130 million households in America, households, not people, households, okay? Out of these 130 million plus households, 29% of the households in America are considered poor class. That means they're making $32,000 or less. 70% of the households in America, 7 out of 10, 70% of the 130 million are considered middle class, lower middle, in the middle of the middle, or upper middle. That's where most of America is. And this is where our problem lies. I'm going to be talking about this all week and probably for the next 2 weeks leading up to our Millionaire Mastermind. But I want you to join this campaign because you got to reset your mind. Most people in America, especially the ones who make up this 70%, they do not have the right financial target. They do not even have the right financial information to get out of this rat race. This ain't nothing but a rat race in the middle. Down here, and I say this respectfully, down here, it ain't really a rat race. It's really a prison. You stuck. You're depleted. You just do not have enough. But this middle class 70% is worse to some extent than the red. You know why? Because at least people in the red get certain support. They have certain subsidies and programs that are designed for them, which kind of keeps them there. This particular group of people in the middle, they don't even get the benefits down here that down here gets. A lot of times when you're middle class, you don't get benefits for your child care, you don't get medical benefits, you don't get all the perks that people who are considered categorically to be poor get. So to some extent, it's even worse. But what makes it even worse for this 70% is they don't even know they poor. Most of them don't even know. They don't even think, because they look at this class and say, well, I'm better than them. At least I ain't in the hood no more. At least I ain't living in a third world country. At least I got somewhere to stay. At least I might be in debt over my head, but at least I got a job. At least I got 2 cars. You see what I'm saying? So it's a mindset thing. This is the first thing that I want you to work on. So even when you get access to this particular course, the first thing you're going to learn is about the spiritual and the mental and the emotional and the psychological and the environmental things that you got to get right. So there's a correction that needs to be made. We got to correct our thinking. We got to correct our belief systems. We got to fix this stuff. Otherwise, we ain't never going to break through and break out of that. It's not going to happen. I have been through these stages. So I know how hard it is to break through any financial barrier or to break through into any income class when your mind is not corrected, when your beliefs are not corrected, when your mindset has not been reset to things beyond where you're stuck at. So the question I'm asking you today is, did you even know that this type of structure existed? Did you understand that depending on where you are financially, society has already categorized you? And if society has not categorized you, there are certain systems and infrastructures that are built and designed to know exactly where you are categorically, and that determines the information you know, that determines the information you get access to, that determines the doors you walk. Like, it has a lot to do to determine why some people are just where they at. Because there are a lot of people, I've been one of those people, that just live and wake up every day and be like, man, why can't I get ahead? Why am I stuck? Like, what is the problem? I'm working hard and hard and harder and harder. I'm doing the best that I can to save and to get out of debt, and I just can't get ahead. Why? Because you're probably stuck in a cycle based on an income class that has a certain type of information that's designed to program you to stay stuck. Period. Now, you can argue what I'm saying. You can debate what I'm saying. You can even disagree with what I'm saying. But unless you're going to show me some facts, unless you're going to show me some facts, you just talking. How many of y'all agree with me on this? You just talking now. So we got to fix this thing, okay? We got to get this thing corrected. We got to get reset in our thinking. And it's going to start with us understanding something as simple as, where am I on this income ladder? Where am I currently? Okay? So that's what I want you to do. I want you to identify with where you are. Are you here in the red? Are you in one of the yellows? Are you upper middle class? Are you middle class? Are you lower middle class? Are you in the green? Where are you? And don't be ashamed to just accept it. We're not trying to make you loathe in your struggle, but you have to know where you are as you prepare to figure out where you want to go. So if you want to use the GPS, if you want to use your navigation system, if you want to use your Waze app, well, the best thing to do is to put in where you want to go in light of where you are, so that you can know the exact route to take. You'll know the exact time it takes. You'll know if there's any potential detours, all the things along the way. But you gotta know not just where you want to go, but you gotta know where you're at. So even if you don't know where you want to go, start where you at. Where am I on this ladder? And now, guess what? Once you identify with where you are, the next question to you is, where do you think you should actually be? Where do you think you should be? And don't just give me, like, I'm not the person for you to be like, oh, I want $1 billion. Okay, you got to quantify that though. You got to qualify it. So it's okay to say, oh, I want $1 billion. I want to be wealthy. Okay, cool. All right, but more specifically, within the next year, where is your worst case scenario target need to be? What is your worst case scenario? Most people who are stuck here have the wrong financial targets. So now I'm going to be talking about this for the next few weeks. I really want you to join this campaign. So the first thing you need to do, if you want to be a part of this financial freedom campaign, this fast track, and if you want me to show you some real creative strategies on how you can increase your income by 30% within the next 3 weeks, if you're not a member of my mentorship, my coaching program, or you're not a member of my Millionaire Blueprint, you don't have access to that online program, I want you to reach out to me so that we can onboard you. But I need to take a few minutes to at least assess where you are. We need to figure out where you are and identify with where you need to be. We need to help you reset that and correct that. If your pride don't allow you to do that, then I'm not for you. It's just simple as that. I don't waste my time with people who want to goof off and tiptoe around as if you know they just so important. Well, you just stay important in your own world. For those of you who need people to help you, for those of you that understand that there's a natural process you're going to have to go through to get to where you want to go, because I know some of y'all so spiritual and you so deep, you just feel like angels are going to assist you to take you to where you at, but they ain't did it yet. So please tell me when Gabriel comes down and takes you there, give him my address and let him know I need his assistance too. And I'm not saying certain supernatural things can't happen, but you can't be around here living your whole life thinking that something is just going to break out for you and you don't do anything in the natural. You just sit home all day and twiddle your thumbs and just pray and just whatever. Like, I mean, come on, man. I'm just not even, I don't even have time. Like, I start getting like a stomach ache every time I start thinking about how ridiculous it is for people to think like that. But that's for another time. Today, I want you to identify where you are categorically. And I want you to think about where you should be at minimum. So if I had to give you a recommendation, no matter where you are, I would say your worst case scenario, your minimum should be around here. This should be your minimum right here. Somewhere in this area right here. Somewhere between upper class or upper middle class. That means you need to be trying to figure out how to make at least a minimum of $110,000 a year, which is real low. That's like worst case scenario. And again, don't think, oh, well, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know how hard it is. You just saying that because of where you at. I've been here. I was way down here. I've been way down here. I know what it is. Like, you can't get no lower than where I was. Think about it. At my worst point in life, I was incarcerated for almost a year when I was in my late teens. Think about it. My worst point in my life, I was probably about 18 or 19 years old, and I was incarcerated. I couldn't bond out of jail. My bond was like, I don't know, probably $100,000. I had been sitting in jail for almost a year, didn't know if I was going to go to prison. I didn't have a pot to put it in or when to throw it out. I wasn't thinking about $32,000 a year at that point in my life. I was a drug addict. I was way down here. I was way down here. So you cannot tell somebody like me that it's not possible to climb that ladder. I'm up here. So I know if I can come from down here up to the green, I know it's possible. You can't tell me it ain't, because I've been here. So if you're making $20,000 a year, you're making $20,000 more than I made, because you don't make no money when you're sitting in jail at almost 20 years old and you're a drug addict and you have no place to stay, you have nothing. I was at the bottom, and I was there for some years. I was not incarcerated, but I was at that bottom place of drug addiction, crime, living pillar to post, not having anywhere to stay, just running the streets. So you can't tell me it's not possible. And guess what? I don't have a formal education. I finally got a GED after getting out of jail at some point. So one of the times I got out of jail, I was back and forth in jail, but one time I got out, I finally went and got my GED. So you're talking about no formal education, a GED, a criminal background, parents were crack addicts, never had any support to get out of that situation, never got trained or taught or educated about anything when it comes to business and finance. And I had to self-educate, scrap it out, grind it out, and I've made it to the 1%. So I know it's possible. You can't tell me it ain't possible. Now the question is, if you know you at a certain point, I'm telling you, your worst case scenario should be at least the upper middle class. You should be trying to figure out, how can I make at least $100,000 a year? At least $100,000 a year. If you're not thinking about how you can make 100 grand a year, I promise you this. I promise you this. I promise you this. If you're not thinking about how you can make at least $100,000 a year, I will be the first one to promise you that you have the wrong financial target. You have the wrong financial target. You should be trying to figure out, how can I make $400,000 a year? Because it's not until you see about 400 grand a year that you realize, oh, it's different. And all you got to do is ask people who make $400,000 or more a year. Talk to anybody that's in the 1% and ask them, how different is it making $400,000 or more a year than it was making anything less? If you meet somebody that tells you anything other than it's a big difference, they just probably trying to, butter you up. They just trying to make you feel good. So again, I want to have this conversation for the next couple weeks. I want those of you that are already on the Millionaire Blueprint, or you're in our mentorship program, I want you to jot down the course, the Income Ladder of Success, and I want you to start this course. We're going to have a check-in this Saturday. Of course, if you're in my program, my coaching and mentorship program, we're going to have a check-in next Monday, but we're going to be talking about this for the next few weeks leading up to my free Millionaire Mastermind. And I would love for you to be a part of this campaign. If you want to join it and you're not a part of it yet, all you have to do is text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. That's 404-478-7213. My man, James Ishmael, blessings to you. Mr. Forbes, blessings to you, my friend. He says, I was familiar with the 1%. I thought the poor class was larger. A lot of the 70% are delusional, and that includes me. Well, I'm glad you're honest, man. Thank you for being honest. I am in the process of renewing my mind concerning that income class. So here, James Forbes, one of our coaching clients, appreciate you for being a part of our community. James said, number one, he said, the 70%, this group here, and I hate to offend you if you're a part of this group, but here's one of your fellow 70%ers. He said it. He said, a lot of the 70% are delusional, including me. This is delusion, man. I'm telling you, I got stuck here. I keep telling y'all these stories. Like, everything I tell you is facts. I don't give you some fluff. Before I met my wife, I was poor. I was poor, okay? Even though I had got myself cleaned up, I had been clean for a couple years before I met my wife and got married. But I wasn't making no more than $10 an hour when I met my wife. Even though I had a little business on the side, I was making less doing my little business than I did when I was making $10 an hour. So I wasn't making no doggone money. It wasn't until I met my wife that her support pushed me past $32,000. So I give my wife all the credit for that. She upgraded me. She took me out of the red, okay? But we were still in the middle. And once me and my wife got to a place to where we were making 6 figures a year, that's where we got stuck. And it took me a while to figure this out. I was like, why we can't get further? Why we can't get ahead? Why we keep getting to a certain point? Why we make 120,000 and go down, or 130, or 108, or 150 in a good year? And it's like we never broke through. We could never get past a certain threshold. We always plateaued. And I realized it was because of what James mentioned. It was delusional. We were delusional in terms of what we believed about financial freedom. I know I didn't have the right information. And everybody that I hung around was stuck somewhere in here. So they were all saying the same thing we were saying, especially the professionals we was around. Me and my wife was a 2-person real estate team. So every real estate agent talked the same. Every mortgage broker talked the same. Every insurance agent talked the same. Every appraiser, every property man, everybody in that space and in any other professional space that we talked to, they were stuck right here. Now, a lot of them had nice cars because we had nice cars. A lot of them had nice houses because we was living in a nice house. A lot of them had clothes, went on vacations, had credit cards. You know, they had all the perks, right? But they did not have financial freedom. I know this to be factual. I know this to be, it's not something somebody told me. It ain't something I heard through the grapevine. I know it because I was one of them. Just like my man James said, he's like, bruh, I'm one. I know what I'm saying is true. So you can't tell me no different than that. It wasn't until I started learning, educating myself on up here. So when I started doing the math and studying and researching on how people got up here, I realized the reason why they was up here, because they wasn't doing nothing the people down here were doing. They were doing the total opposite. So guess what I made the decision to do? This was 5 years ago. Everybody that knows me know I'm telling the truth. 5 years ago in 2017, I told my whole church, I told my wife, everybody that was around us, my family, I said, first of all, we finna get rid of all this luxury stuff we got, because all this is just liabilities. I'm getting ready to move to Buckhead, Atlanta, to the financial district of Atlanta, and we're starting all over. We're resetting our lives because we're resetting our minds, and we're making corrections based on bad data and information that we've been living by, because I do not want to be a slave to that middle, which is where 70% of Americans are. I know I don't want to be down here, but I've been there before. I want to be here. And in order to get there, you got to go through them stages. And in order to go through them stages, you got to get the right information. You got to get around the right people. And while you're getting the information and getting around the right people, you also need motivation. You need motivation. Some people are against motivation. Oh, I don't want to be motivated. Shoot, you better find some motivation. I don't need somebody to inspire me and to make me feel good. At some point, you're going to need it. I bet you that. Because if all you're getting is just information, I guarantee you're not getting enough of that information because you're bored. Have you ever tried to study? Have you ever tried to read a book and you start studying and reading the book, and like 3 minutes later, you start yawning, you start getting bored, you feel like you ain't got the energy. You know why? Because your brain needs motivation and inspiration and some form of excitement and energy. And then you'll close the book and then you'll start watching Netflix or Shark Tank reruns like I do, or whatever is on VH1 or BET. And guess what happens? 3 hours later, you binge watching and you realize, man, I could have read the book for 3 hours. But you wanted to be entertained. You wanted to be stimulated. You wanted to be motivated. So you really need all of it together. This is one of the advantages that people like me have, because I'm a man of God. I'm in ministry. I'm anointed. I'm not just a motivational speaker, but I'm a preacher of the gospel. So when I start talking and pushing you and pressing you and leaning in on you, I ain't just giving you no fumes. I ain't just whoosh, letting a little breath of fresh air hit you. I'm bringing some power. I'm bringing some force, because I know in order for you to pull out of this and to get into that green, you gonna need something behind you. You're gonna need something behind you. So with that being said, I wanna end this show today by again challenging you and encouraging you all at the same time to join our 3-week Fast Track to Financial Freedom campaign. If you are a part of our Millionaire Mentorship program, if I'm coaching you already, if you are a member of our Millionaire Blueprint, you're already in our business training program, then all you need to do is go to the course called The Income Ladder of Success. Just go to this course, and I want you to start training on that course specifically. This Saturday, July the 9th at 2 p.m., we'll be sending a text message out to everyone in our business ecosystem, and we'll send an email link. You're going to be able to join me for a live session, and we're going to be talking about this program, and we're going to be checking in, following up with you on what have you learned, what were your biggest takeaways, and what have you taken within these first few days of this campaign that has helped reset your mind about money. That's what we're going to be doing, okay? Next week, we're going to be doing the same thing, but it's going to be with different topics on money. The third week, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to conclude on the 23rd, live, in person or virtual, in our Millionaire Mastermind, and we're going to make sure that you got results. We're going to make sure that you have been able to implement and execute some strategies that have gotten you financial results to show you that it is possible. You can do it, okay? If you are not a member of any of our programs, but you want to get in and join me for this campaign and get this coaching and this mentoring for the next 3 weeks to see if you can make some financial progress, then what you need to do is you need to text the word millionaire to me today. Text millionaire to 404-478-7213. Text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. And we want to take a few minutes over the phone to assess your situation. You have to be open. You can't be arrogant and prideful and be trying to lie and hide when the truth is the truth. Where you at? Wherever you at, we need to figure that out. And where you want to be, we need to figure that out. And we need to show you what you need to do in between. I just told my personal assistant, my administrator, my wife, my team this morning. I told them, I said, listen, if you just listen to somebody who's done it, it's only a matter of time that it's going to work. Like, you can't get it from people who are doing it and succeeding in it and it don't work. If it ain't working, what are you not doing? What are you missing? What information are you gathering and then you taking pieces of it and bits of it and saying, well, I ain't going to do that. That don't apply to me. That's for him. That's why you're not getting it. You got to learn to just take it and move on it and use it and learn and grow and do the work execute on a high level so you can start seeing results. All right. James, I appreciate you, man. James says, I can definitely get to the bottom 1% in 12 months. It will require me to have proof of concepts in my company and then duplicate myself by scaling. You're absolutely right, my friend. It is definitely possible. It is definitely possible. And as long as you're willing to put in the work, I know you're in our coaching program, our mentorship program, so you have access to a lot of this great information, and you have access to me and my team and to all of our workshops and our group coaching calls. So that will really enhance and give you not just information and tools and resources and techniques, but it also gives you the energy, the vibe, the support, the motivation and inspiration you need to take those tools and push them with effort and with action. So thank all of you for joining the show today. I look forward to speaking with you if we've never had an opportunity to speak. I look forward to you joining me on the 23rd for the conclusion of this 3-week Fast Track to Financial Freedom campaign. If you have any questions, just reach out to us. There's the number. There's the number. Where's the number? Right here. The number here, 404-478-7213. We'll be back here tomorrow. Same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon on the Ramonepreston